Hello and welcome. We know there is no real separation. There is only one consciousness. The person you believe you are, the identity made by your thoughts and memories, is not really you. It's a character made by the ego. It feels real, but it's not the truth of who you are. So if that's true, you might ask, why live a life at all? Why go through all of this if it's not real? Let's think about it this way. Imagine watching a movie. You know it isn't real. The people on the screen are actors. The story is written, the emotions are scripted. But even knowing that, you still watch it. You laugh, cry, get excited, feel scared, all because you're absorbed in the experience. That's exactly how life works. Life is just like a movie. It has ups and downs, happy parts and sad parts. Sometimes we feel joy. Sometimes we feel pain. But just because life doesn't always look the way you imagined it should, doesn't mean it isn't valuable. It doesn't mean you shouldn't live it fully. Life is so detailed, so beautifully made, that we forget it might not be real in the way we think. It feels real because it's meant to. It's supposed to pull you in. And the real you consciousness itself chose to be here, to experience this. You decided to press play and become fully involved, just like when you decide to watch a movie. The body is not who you are. The thoughts in your mind are not you. The personality you've developed over time isn't the real you either. These are just the tools used to create the experience. They're the characters and the setting of your personal story. Consciousness uses them to explore what it feels like to be human, to have limits, to face challenges, and to grow. If life didn't include sadness, struggle, or fear, it would be flat. It would be boring. So yes, the hard parts are difficult, but they're also what give life its richness. They make the joy more joyful, the love more powerful, the peace more meaningful. Now think about this. When you were born, it seemed like consciousness entered your body. And when the body dies, it seems like consciousness leaves. But consciousness isn't something that can be created or destroyed. It always exists. It doesn't start or stop, it just is. It is timeless. It is what sees, what knows, what experiences. And that is you. You, as pure awareness, chose this life. Not by accident, not as punishment, but as a way to experience this world. So now that you're here, why not enjoy it fully? Feel the sadness when it comes. Feel the joy too. Be open to all of it. That's what makes this journey alive and beautiful. Before we go deeper, let go of your expectations. Let go of trying to understand everything with your mind. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to get anything from this. Just relax into listening. Let your mind rest. What you truly are doesn't need to understand. It already sees clearly. There is no self, yet life still goes on. You are not who you think you are. You've never been that person. And yet here you are, walking through life, breathing, talking, acting, like someone is in charge. But if you look closely without ideas or beliefs, if you simply look at your direct experience, you'll notice something surprising. The self, the one you thought was doing everything, isn't there. Look now, sounds come and go. Sensations in your body rise and fall. Thoughts appear, and then they disappear. Where is the one they're all happening to? Don't answer with what you've been taught. Don't go to memory. Look freshly. Right now. The mind might say, I'm here. I'm aware of all this. But that sentence is also just a thought. It's no different than the other thoughts. It's not proof of a self, it's just another thing that appears and disappears. All your life, you've been told you are a certain person with a name, a history, preferences, goals, memories. But none of those things exist unless you think about them. What are you before the next thought arrives? Who are you without your story? When people hear there is no self, it can be confusing or scary. They wonder, if there's no me, who's living this life? Who's making choices? Who's doing the work? But hidden inside that question is a false idea that there was ever a self doing those things to begin with. If you look carefully, you'll see that life has always moved on its own. You don't make your heart beat. You don't grow your hair or digest your food. You don't even choose most of your thoughts, they just show up. Life is happening. Movement is happening. Thoughts are happening. And something responds. But the you who thinks they are in charge, that's just another thought. You might begin to see that the you always believed in is just a mental story. It claims ownership over things it never created. A thought comes up and another thought says, I thought that. But what if that I is just a label stuck onto something that was already happening? Life doesn't need a separate self to function. The body breathes, the mind thinks, the heart feels, all without needing an individual identity to control them. This belief in a separate self is where most suffering begins, not because of pain or challenges themselves, but because of the story. This is happening to me, and I don't like it. Pain happens, and the mind says, this shouldn't be happening to me. That's where resistance and struggle are born. But without that story, pain is just a feeling. Sadness is just a passing emotion. Thoughts are just clouds drifting by. Emotions are like weather. All of it arises and fades away within awareness, your true self. Even though there is no real self, life continues. The body moves, the eyes see, words are spoken. Emotions come and go. Bills still arrive. Work still gets done. And you still feel love, fear, joy, sadness. None of that needs a separate me to happen. You might wonder, if there's no me, why do anything? Why care? That question also comes from the illusion. It assumes that the self gives life meaning. But in truth, meaning comes from life itself. Joy, care, kindness, curiosity, they come naturally. You don't need to be someone to feel them. They arise just like sunlight or birdsong. When the illusion of the self fades, what's left is not emptiness, it's presence, stillness, awareness. And in that space, life becomes more peaceful, more open, more loving. You don't have to try to be present anymore. You just are. Even though the self is seen as an illusion, the human life continues. You still get out of bed. You still laugh, cry, make tea, help others. But it feels lighter, less personal. You're not carrying the weight of trying to control everything. Life lives through you. People sometimes try to get rid of the ego or destroy the self. But that's just the self trying to remove itself. There's nothing to push away. There's nothing you need to get rid of. You only need to stop believing that the thoughts in your mind are you. Thoughts about identity will still come. That's okay. Let them come. Let them go. Just don't hold on to them. Don't take them personally. They're just passing weather. Responsibilities still happen. relationships still unfold, and often they become deeper because now you're not acting from fear or ego. You're not trying to defend your image or prove something. You're just meeting life as it comes, with clarity and peace. Even when difficult moments come, you'll notice something changes. Pain still happens. But the belief that this pain is happening to me doesn't have power anymore. Without a self to defend, there's nothing to protect. The emotions pass like clouds in the sky, and the sky holds on to nothing. So yes, the self is an illusion, but you still have this beautiful, mysterious life to live. You still have a voice that may want to sing. You still have a heart that may break open again and again. You don't need to be a separate someone to enjoy this. You never did. If anything stays with you, let it be this. You are not the thoughts you think about yourself. You are not the story. You are not the role. You are what sees it all, what hears, what feels. You are consciousness itself, without shape, without limits. You are the quiet awareness behind every moment. So don't try to believe this. You don't need belief. Just look, just notice. You don't have to stop your thoughts or reach for enlightenment. What you are has never gone anywhere. It's always been here. It's here now. There is no self, but life remains. And when you stop making it personal, that life becomes light, free, deeply real in a new way. So just live. Let life be enough. Thank you for watching.